Shirin Ebadi was born on June 21, 1947, in the city of Hamadan, Iran. She was born to a family of highly educated, practicing Muslims. Ebadi, her mother, father, brother, and two sisters moved to Tehran a year later. Her mother put all of her effort into the upbringing of her children, and her father was a professor at Tehran University. Ebadi's family has lived in the capital city ever since they first arrived in 1948. After her primary and secondary education, Ebadi took the Tehran University entrance exams and gained a place at the Faculty of Law in 1965. She finished her degree in 3.5 years and straight away took the entrance exams for the Department of Justice. While she was there, she simultaneously got a doctorate with honors in private law from Tehran University, graduating in 1971. By 1975, she became the president of Bench 25 of the Tehran City Court. This made her the first Iranian female to achieve Chief Justice status. After the Iranian Revolution, in the February of 1979, when the highly conservative Khomeini was made leader of Iran, all women were dismissed from their judge status and instead given clerical work. Ebadi became a clerk of the court she had once presided over. All the former female judges protested this and were soon promoted to experts of the Justice Department. Ebadi protested this by retiring. She stayed home for many years and worked on books and articles for various journals. During this time, through now, she has published over 70 articles and 13 books. Then, in 1972, she was given her lawyer's license again. She immediately began taking on human rights cases, particularly many social cases defending victims of shootings and abuse of women and children. Some of her most publicized and well-known cases include that of Erin Golshani. Ebadi represented her mother, who was going to court because her daughter was tortured and killed by her own father. She also took on cases on behalf of the murdered photojournalist Zahra Kazemi. Ebadi even represented the victims' families in a famous serial murder case. In 1995, Ebadi co-founded the Association for Support of Children's Rights. Over time, she became well known for taking on highly sensitive cases, challenging many others on freedom of expression, human rights, and their interpretation of Islam. Her representation of political dissidents has even gotten her arrested a few times. In 2000, she passed out a video implicating government officials in the 1999 murders of students at the University of Tehran and was consequently jailed for 3 weeks. She was also barred from practice for 5 years and fined. She also taught human rights at Tehran University, delivering over 30 lectures a week, and helped to take on research projects for UNICEF. During all of this, she also married and had 2 daughters. In 2001, she co-founded the Human Rights Defense Center with 4 other defense lawyers. Over the years, she continued forming non-governmental organizations in Iran, including the Million Signatures campaign, demanding an end to legal discrimination of women in Iranian law. Then, in 2003, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. She is the first Muslim woman to receive the Nobel Peace Prize and only the 5th Muslim to receive a Nobel Prize in any field. The committee gave her the prize based on her pioneering efforts to promote democracy and human rights, particularly for women and children, and because as a lawyer, judge, lecturer, writer, and activist, she has spoken out clearly and strongly in her country, Iran, and far beyond. They also spoke about her courage, saying that she never gave up despite the threat of her own safety. In 2004, Forbes magazine named her one of the 100 most powerful women in the world. And in 2006, with Jody Williams, another Nobel Peace Prize laureate, Dr. Ebadi established the Nobel Women's Initiative. Later that year, she published her widely known memoir, Iran Awakening. Despite all of her work, she has lived in exile since 2009. In November of 2009, her Nobel medal was confiscated from her by the Iranian government on the grounds that she hadn't paid tax money on her $1.3 million of prize money. She has been receiving threatening messages to stop working for human rights since then, and her husband has been arrested in Tehran and severely beaten. The day before President Ahmadinejad's disputed re-election, Ebadi left for a conference and never returned. Despite this, she still pushed for a new election that was monitored by the United Nations. Ebadi still continually pushes for the elimination of all nuclear weapons. She has recently said that if books instead of bombs had been thrown at the Taliban, and if schools had been built in response to the terrorist attacks on New York in 2001, we would not now be contending with ISIS. In 2012, Ebadi attended the first Trust Women's Conference in London, where she promoted her petition to amend the gender discrimination laws in Iran. She says it is not religion that binds women, but the selective dictates of those who wish them cloistered. That belief, along with the conviction that change in Iran must come peacefully and from within, has underpinned her work.